Welcome to Neville Manifestation, where transformation begins within and reality follows your inner command. If you're ready to master your thoughts, elevate your self-concept, and truly step into the life you deserve, make sure you join our membership and become part of a community that doesn't just listen, but lives these powerful truths every single day. What if the voice that's been quietly shaping your entire life isn't the world around you, but the one inside you? What if, in the silence where no one else can hear, you've been writing your own destiny without even realizing it? Every doubt, every fear, every quiet "I'm not enough" has been building a reality you never chose consciously. But here's the real question. What if you could change everything? Not in a year, not in a lifetime, but in just 3 days. Everything in your life starts with a word, but not the ones you say out loud. It begins with the quiet sentences you repeat to yourself when no one is listening. That inner dialogue, the one running beneath your thoughts all day, isn't random. It's the design of your reality. So let me ask you something simple but powerful. What if you changed that voice for just 3 days? Not forever. Not with years of effort or discipline. Just 72 hours. 3 days of speaking to yourself not as who you've been, but as who you're becoming. 3 days of refusing to replay your fears and instead choosing to declare your future. 3 days of talking to yourself with certainty, with belief, with the same confidence you would have if you already knew everything was working in your favor. Could you do that? Because if you truly can, your entire perspective will begin to shift. Here's what most people never stop to realize. You're always praying. Not with your lips, but with your inner voice. Every thought you repeat carries weight. When you wake up and think, this day is going to be stressful, that's a signal. When you look at yourself and quietly think, I'm not enough, that's a signal. When things feel tight and you say, nothing ever works out for me, that too is a signal. And life responds to those signals consistently. What you experience isn't separate from you, it reflects you. Your outer world mirrors your inner assumptions. It's not trapping you, it's revealing you. If you change what's happening within, what shows up outside must adjust. That's not guesswork, that's how this works. So here's the experiment. For the next 3 days, speak to yourself only from the outcome you want. Don't speak from lack, speak from fulfillment. Instead of, I hope things improve, say, everything is already working out. Instead of, I wish I had more, say, I always have more than enough. Instead of, maybe one day I'll be loved, say, I am deeply loved. Say these things like facts, not wishes. Like something you already know, not something you're trying to convince yourself of. Say them in the morning when your mind is quiet. Say them during the day when distractions try to pull you back. Say them at night when doubt creeps in. And most importantly, say them when it feels hardest, because that's when it matters most. Your old patterns will push back. They'll tell you this isn't real, that you're fooling yourself. And when that happens, don't argue, just continue. Because what you're doing isn't pretending. You're choosing a new direction. Every person who has ever created something meaningful first imagined it before it existed. They saw it within before it appeared outside. Your current situation isn't permanent. It's the result of past thinking. Change the message now, and what comes next will begin to reflect it. You'll start noticing subtle shifts first. A sense of calm replaces tension. People respond to you differently. Opportunities appear in ways you didn't expect. It won't feel forced. It will feel natural, like things are aligning on their own. When something goes wrong, and it will at times, don't fight it. Don't overthink it. Just return to your new voice. Quietly remind yourself, that's not my story anymore. Things are always working in my favor. Then move forward. Each time you return, the new pattern strengthens. You're not battling anything. You're building something. Eventually, without even realizing it, your inner voice will change. Not because you forced it, but because you stayed consistent long enough for it to become natural. Be especially aware of the words I am. Every time you say them, you're defining something about yourself. So choose carefully. Don't say, I'm exhausted, if you don't want to carry that energy. Don't say, I'm unlucky, if you don't want that repeated. Instead say, I'm guided, I'm strong, I'm aligned. Good things happen to me. Even if you don't feel it yet, say it anyway. The feeling will follow the words, not the other way around. Your role in these 3 days isn't to figure out how everything will happen. That's not your job. Your job is to assume it already has, to live from that place mentally, to speak from that version of yourself. The details will unfold on their own. Think of it like planting a seed. Once it's planted, you don't keep digging it up to check if it's growing. You trust it. You let it develop. The same applies here. And if you slip, if you catch yourself going back to old thoughts, don't judge yourself. Just reset. Start again. That moment is always available. The past only has power if you keep repeating it. The future only feels uncertain if you keep imagining it that way. Right now is where everything changes. So here's the challenge. For just 3 days, speak to yourself as the version of you who already has what you want. Walk like it's done. Think like it's done. Speak like it's done. You don't need approval. You don't need proof. You just need the willingness to shift your inner voice. Because it was never the world holding things back. It was always the story you kept repeating. And the moment you change that story, everything begins to move. So for the next 3 days, say it with certainty, say it with calm confidence, and say it like you mean it. I am already becoming the person I've been waiting to be. Walk through your day with an inner conversation that supports your vision instead of feeding your fears. Fear will show up, that's its nature. But when it does, don't fight it, don't debate it, and don't waste energy trying to defeat it. Just return to your chosen voice and calmly remind yourself, that's not my truth. My truth is abundance. My truth is health. My truth is love. Repeat this in the morning, in the middle of your day, and at night when everything is quiet. Most importantly, say it when you don't feel like it, because that is when it matters the most. Your old identity will try to return. It always does. It will bring up every failure, every rejection, every moment things didn't work out. It will try to convince you that this new way of thinking is unrealistic or foolish. But you are no longer focused on what has been. You are focused on what is becoming. And what is becoming is shaped entirely by what you consistently say to yourself in silence. Your inner voice must become your greatest ally, a voice of certainty instead of doubt, a voice of belief instead of fear, a voice of possibility instead of limitation. There is a timeless truth. As you think within, so you become. But this kind of thinking isn't passive or random. It's a deep inner conviction that feels real and settled. It's the voice you hear when you are alone. That voice has the power to create, to heal, and to transform your life. So change it intentionally. Don't say, I will be healed. Say, I am healed. Don't say, I hope to find love. Say, I am love. Speak from the end result, not from the beginning, and let life handle the path in between. Everything you need will begin to align. People, opportunities, and moments that seem coincidental but are not. Nothing begins to shift outwardly until your inner dialogue changes. You may have already tried everything else, working harder, learning more, waiting longer. But now it's time to speak differently within yourself. Not out loud, but from your deepest inner awareness. Say only what you want to experience, and repeat it with patience and belief until it feels natural. Treat your inner dialogue with respect. Speak to yourself with confidence and dignity. There is immense creative power within you, and it responds not to desperation, but to certainty. It does not answer begging or doubt. It responds to calm, confident assumption. Just like you expect light when you flip a switch, expect your desires to unfold with the same certainty. Hold that expectation, speak it, and trust it. This practice doesn't require years. It begins with just 3 days. 3 days of disciplined inner speech. 3 days of refusing to speak limitation internally. 3 days of ignoring what your senses are telling you and instead choosing the quiet truth of your imagination. If you stay consistent, even for 72 hours, you will begin to feel a shift. A new version of you will start to emerge. Let go of the old identity. You are not your past. You are not defined by mistakes or failures. You are shaped by your assumptions. And those assumptions are always your choice. Choose carefully. Speak intentionally. Talk to yourself as if you are already the person you want to be. As you do this, things will begin to change. The world will feel different. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will appear where there were none. Relationships will grow in places that once felt empty. Why? Because the outer world is simply reflecting your inner voice. You are already speaking to yourself all the time. Even now, there is a voice reacting to these words. Whatever it is saying, whether it believes or doubts, it is shaping your reality. So choose the voice that empowers you. Choose the one that already knows things are working out. And if you slip, don't judge yourself. Don't fall into guilt or frustration. Just return to your chosen voice. Each time you do, you weaken the old pattern and strengthen the new one. This isn't a battle, it's a practice, a rhythm, a new way of being. Eventually, without effort, your inner voice will change. It will become natural. You won't need to force it anymore. It will simply be who you are. Don't wait for proof before you begin. You are the proof. You are the starting point. Let your inner voice declare, I am whole, I am free, I am abundant, I am deeply loved. Repeat it until it feels real, until it becomes your truth. You might wonder, what if nothing changes? But the real question is, what if everything does? What if just 3 days of focused inner speech could begin to reshape your entire life? Your inner world is where everything starts. What you say there eventually shows up in your outer experience. So speak wisely, speak with belief. Every word you repeat within yourself is a seed and it will grow into something. Be intentional about what you plant. The truth is simple, even if it's powerful. The voice you use within yourself is creating your life. Most people never notice it, never question it, but you are becoming aware now. You are learning to take control of it. So start paying attention. When things feel uncertain, notice what you say to yourself. If you catch yourself thinking, nothing ever works out, pause and replace it. Say instead, everything is working in my favor. I am supported. I am abundant. Say it even when it feels untrue. Not to convince others, but to impress your own mind, the place where your reality begins. As you continue, you'll notice changes not only in your life, but in who you are. Your energy will shift. Your presence will change. You will carry yourself differently. And without even trying, you will become someone who attracts what they once chased. Something about you will start to feel different to others. They may not be able to explain it, but they'll sense it. That shift is alignment. It happens when your inner dialogue finally matches the highest version of who you're meant to be. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending life has no challenges. It's about choosing, with awareness and intention, to speak from a deeper truth instead of reacting to surface level appearances. That choice, that steady, grounded belief is real power. When you say, I am successful, while your current situation suggests otherwise, you're not being dishonest. You're choosing to identify with a higher truth, one that hasn't fully appeared yet but is already forming. You're speaking from the destination while still walking the path. And when you hold that perspective consistently, with patience and belief, it begins to lift you toward it. For the next 3 days, step into what I'd call bold spiritual confidence. Speak to yourself not as someone lacking, but as someone who already has authority over their life. Not as someone asking for permission, but as someone who belongs. Tell yourself, I always figure things out. I am guided. I move through life with support, ease, and unexpected blessings. Repeat these thoughts until they become familiar, until they replace the old background noise of doubt. And when you're alone, especially then, be kind to yourself. Most people are harsher with themselves than with anyone else, and that needs to change. In those quiet moments, remind yourself, I love who I'm becoming. I'm proud of how far I've come. I deserve everything I'm working toward. Let that become your new normal. Let it be the voice you return to daily. You are not waiting for something outside of you to change your life. You are the source of that change. Every time you say, I am, you are shaping your identity. Those words carry weight, so be mindful. Instead of saying, I'm exhausted or I'm unlucky, choose something that aligns with where you want to go. I'm energized, I'm aligned, things flow easily for me. Say it often enough that it begins to feel natural. You don't need to figure out every step or control how things unfold. That's not your role. Your role is to assume the outcome, to hold the belief internally and stay consistent with it. The details will arrange themselves in ways you can't yet see. You might not notice immediate results. That's normal. Just like planting a seed, growth happens beneath the surface first. You don't dig it up every day to check on it. You trust the process. The same applies here. Keep speaking as if it's already happening. Stay steady. Even now, something is shifting inside you. The old story you've been repeating is starting to lose its grip. A new one is being written, not by chance, but by your decision to think differently. The old voice might still show up, bringing doubts and reminders of past failures. Let it be there, but don't engage with it. Replace it. Gently, consistently, choose your new voice instead. Over time, that old voice fades. It loses strength because you stop feeding it. And eventually, you won't even recognize it anymore. You already have everything you need. Your thoughts, your imagination, your awareness, these are your tools. Use them intentionally. Use them often. Because even a few days of focused inner dialogue can begin to shift your entire direction. It may not feel like much at first. It may even feel like nothing is changing. But the unseen always comes before the visible. That's just how it works. If you stay consistent, even for 3 days, you'll begin to notice a difference. A new version of you will start to take shape. You might question yourself at first. You might think, who am I to believe this? But here's the truth. You are capable of creating change because of the power within your own awareness. Not because of your past, not because of how deserving you feel, but because of the thoughts you consistently choose. So raise the standard of your inner dialogue. Let it reflect confidence, clarity, and fulfillment. Make it a daily habit, and watch how your external world begins to reflect that shift. If you slip, that's okay. Just reset. There's no need for guilt. Every moment is a chance to begin again. The past only continues if you keep repeating it. The future only feels uncertain if you keep imagining it that way. Right now is where everything changes. Picture yourself 3 days from now. You've stayed consistent. You've spoken to yourself with intention. You've held your new perspective even when it felt unfamiliar. Now imagine how that feels. A sense of lightness, clarity, maybe even small signs that things are shifting. It's not about forcing change outside of you. It's about changing what's happening within. That's where everything starts. This isn't some kind of illusion, it's a principle. You become what you repeatedly tell yourself you are. Every thought builds something, every belief adds structure, and eventually your outer world reflects that inner construction. You don't need permission to do this. You don't need validation. You just need the willingness to change how you speak to yourself, to stay committed even when you don't see immediate proof. That's the discipline. That's the practice. And once you experience it, even briefly, you won't be the same. You'll carry yourself differently. You'll respond to challenges with more calm. People will notice something about you, even if they can't explain it. Your inner voice is always active. It's always shaping something. So choose it wisely. Be intentional about what you repeat to yourself. For 3 days, commit to speaking as the person you want to become, not as a wish, but as a reality you've already stepped into. Carry yourself with that belief. Think from that place, speak from that place, and watch what begins to shift. Because it was never about waiting for the world to change. It was always about changing the voice within you. And so, as you come to the end of this message, understand this. Nothing outside of you has been holding you back the way your own inner voice has. Not your past, not your circumstances, not the opinions of others. It has always been that quiet, persistent conversation within you, shaping your identity, your expectations, and ultimately your reality. But the moment you become aware of it, the moment you decide to take control of it, everything begins to change. You are no longer reacting to life, you are directing it. These 3 days are not just an experiment, they are a doorway into a version of yourself that no longer speaks from fear, but from faith, no longer repeats limitation, but declares expansion. When you consistently choose thoughts that align with your highest self, something powerful happens. You begin to feel different, carry yourself differently, respond differently, and slowly but surely, life responds back in kind. The world does not shift because you forced it to, but because you finally aligned with the version of yourself that already lives beyond doubt. Remember, you are not trying to become someone new. You are allowing who you truly are to rise by removing the noise that told you otherwise. Every time you say, I am, you are casting a vote for the person you are choosing to be. So choose with intention, choose with confidence, choose with belief. Even if the evidence is not yet visible, even if the results have not yet appeared, trust that something is happening beneath the surface. Just like a seed grows in silence before it ever breaks through the ground, your transformation is already in motion. Stay with it. Return to it. Protect it. Because this inner voice you are building, it is not temporary. It is the foundation of everything that is to come. And one day, sooner than you think, you will look around at your life and realize that what once felt impossible has quietly become your reality. Not by chance, not by luck, but by the simple, powerful decision to speak differently within yourself.